Let's talk about something pretty much every student has gone through, the all-nighter. It's almost a rite of passage, right? But what if I told you that this last-ditch effort to save your grade isn't just kind of bad for you? What if it's one of the biggest myths in all of learning? Well, let's find out why.
Oh yeah, you know the scene? It's 2 a.m., the textbook is a blur, and you're powered by pure desperation and maybe a questionable energy drink. It feels like you're in the trenches, doing the hard work, taking control, but it turns out, in that moment, our instincts are leading us completely down the wrong path.
You've seen the videos, the posts, the so-called study hacks that glorify the last-minute push. But here's the truth. That cram session is a trap, and it's actively working against how your brain is designed to learn. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the real science of what actually works.
Okay, so let's start with the big one, the all-nighter myth. Is it your secret weapon for acing that test, or is it actually sabotaging you from the inside out? To really get why cramming is such a disaster, we have to look under the hood. We need to see what is actually happening inside your brain when you try to force-feed it a semester's worth of knowledge. So, think of it this way. Your brain has two very different memory systems. When you cram, you're only using your short-term memory. It's like a tiny, temporary sticky note. Great for remembering a phone number for 30 seconds, but that's about it. The information just disappears. Real, solid learning, that happens in your long-term memory, which is like this huge, organized library in your head.
And this isn't just a theory. We can actually see it happen. It's called the forgetting curve. It shows just how fast our brains dump information that isn't reinforced. Look at that drop. After just one day, a massive chunk of what you crammed is just gone. Poof. And after a week, you might as well have not studied at all.
And here's the real killer, the secret ingredient you're throwing away: sleep. Sleep is not a luxury. It is literally when your brain files away important information. It takes those little sticky notes from your short-term memory and carefully moves them into the long-term library. So when you skip sleep, you're not just tired, you are actively preventing your brain from remembering anything.
Trying to cram everything at once is like trying to force rush hour traffic down a one-lane street. It's a total gridlock. It's called cognitive overload. Your brain's working memory just can't handle that fire hose of information. It gets overwhelmed, it shuts down, and it basically stops processing anything new. So you're not just learning poorly, you are blocking yourself from learning at all. Okay, so if cramming is so bad, why on earth does it feel so productive? You know that feeling, right? Like you're really getting somewhere? Well, it turns out our brains are playing a very clever trick on us.
This right here is the cramming paradox. When you reread a chapter 5 times in a row, the words start to look familiar. Your brain mistakes that feeling of familiarity for actual knowledge. It gives you a little hit of confidence, making you think, yeah, I got this. But it's not real. It's just superficial recognition. You don't understand the concepts, you just recognize the sentences on the page.
And we all know where that leads. You sit down for the exam, the pressure is on, and poof, it's all gone. Your mind is a total blank. That right there, that's your fragile, overstuffed short-term memory completely collapsing under pressure. The information was never really yours to begin with.
All right, enough doom and gloom. Let's talk about what actually works. It's time to ditch the myth and get into the real roadmap, the actual strategies for studying smarter, all backed by science. First up, meet the arch nemesis of cramming, spaced repetition. The idea is simple. Instead of one giant, horrible study session, you review information in small chunks over time. Each time you revisit a concept, you're sending a powerful signal to your brain that says, hey, this is important, don't throw this away.
And look at how simple this can be. You learn something new on Monday, you do a quick 5-minute review on Wednesday, then another quick review the next week. Each time, that memory gets stronger and stronger, moving deeper and deeper into your long-term knowledge bank, where it'll actually stick.
The second powerhouse technique is called active recall. Now, this is about shifting from being a passive consumer to an active participant in your own learning. Just rereading your notes is easy, and that's why it's so ineffective. Active recall is about pulling information out of your own head. It's harder, for sure, but that effort is exactly what builds strong memories.
You can literally do this right now. Read a paragraph from your textbook. Okay, now close the book. Seriously, close it. Try to explain that concept out loud, in your own words, like you're teaching it to a friend. You will immediately find the gaps in your knowledge.
Then, you just open the book back up to fill them in. It is the single best workout for your brain.
And hey, there are so many other great ways to do this. Try to connect new ideas to things you already know and understand. Use flashcards. They're a classic for a reason. They're basically a perfect tool for combining spaced repetition and active recall. Or even better, grab a friend and try to teach them the material. If you can teach it, you own it. Period.
So, let's bring this all home. It's time to throw out the old, anxiety-fueled cramming sessions and trade up for a new learning playbook. One that turns you from a crammer into a master. If you only remember one thing today, please let it be this. True, effective learning is not a frantic, desperate sprint to the finish line. It's a marathon. It's paced, it's consistent, and it's built on smart effort over time.
So let's recap your key takeaways. 1. Cramming is a trap that only uses your weak, temporary short-term memory. 2. Sleep is not optional. It's a non-negotiable part of the learning process. And 3. Use spaced repetition and active recall to build real, solid knowledge that actually lasts.
You see, this is about so much more than just passing your next test. This is about changing how you think about learning itself, transforming it from something you have to survive into something you can truly own. So the only question left is, with these new tools in your toolkit, what will you master next?